right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, as you can see in the title of this lesson, be careful when entertaining strangers. I think that's what I titled it. Yeah, well, I'm sure that's what I titled it. Be careful when entertaining strangers. And this is something that I was meditating on, today. I watched a video that was done by one of the brothers from Dallas. I believe it's the brother Sha'ar, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me if I got your name wrong, but he basically did a testimony video on an angel, I mean, pretty much, yeah, an angel, and he was going into the how he as he was on the phone with another brother, he basically came out of his apartment, and he saw, that figure. All right, it was basically like a light, brighter on the inside and a little lighter on the outside, swoop pretty low, and then dip out pretty fast. And I was thinking about how there are different encounters that we have with the angels. Most of them we don't know or we're not aware of. Okay. And so I want to start off with this precept here in the book of Hebrews, because understand that the Lord doesn't just send angels, are messengers, right? That's what the name angel means. The Lord doesn't just send angels just for fun, right? The Lord doesn't just, anytime you read in the scriptures where an angel was sent to a man of the Lord or to a prophet or to go do something, there's always a purpose, there's always a task. There's no angel that's just sent just for fun, just to, just come in and I don't know, play video games with you or something like that. That's not their job. That's not how they work. There are angels that have been assigned to protect you and make sure you're good. Okay? But they don't just come for no reason. They come with a purpose. When you take Habakkuk for an example, right? When the angel showed up, basically the angel told him, look, the food that you just made, take it to Daniel in the lion's den, all the way in Babylon. He's like, well, I've never been to Babylon. So he teleported him there, and then he gave the food to Daniel, and then he brought him back. Okay. The angel with who came to Samson's parents, Manoah. Okay, he told him, look, he came there for a reason, and he told them the purpose. Even when they asked him for his name, he said that doesn't matter. Okay. And then you had many different accounts. The angel that came and broke the apostle Peter out of the prison. The angels that came down and beat Heliodorus, okay, when he came there to the temple to try and get money for the king. The angels that came down to help aid Judas Maccabees and the rest of the Israelites when they were fighting in their battles. The angel that came down to deliver the 3 holy children from the furnace. So there's many different accounts, and it keeps on going. But you notice every time an angel came, it was either with a message. Even the angel Uriel, when he came to Ezra, it was with a message or a purpose. So the reason I'm saying that is when we have encounters, most times if you encounter an angel, it's likely that they're not gonna just full on manifest with their wings and everything. You know what I mean? If you happen to see, hey, then they blessed are your eyes. But most cases they'll be disguised as a stranger. They'll be disguised as a regular person. So maybe somebody that looks homeless. All right, maybe somebody that's just a regular dude, or looks like a regular dude. That's the point. And if you encounter an angel unawares, there's a reason that angel was there, and there's a reason you had that encounter. And that's why you have to be careful entertaining strangers, which I'm going to go into that verse, because whatever encounter it is, it was for a purpose, and it was likely to test you for whatever it is. It might be being charitable. An angel might pose as somebody that's homeless or begging for money, and they obviously they don't need the money, but they might just do that just to test you, test your character. They never know. Okay, somebody might pour hot coffee on your brand new sneakers while you're already running late for work or something like that. And you never know. It could be an angel that does it deliberately just to test you. You never know. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying, just for example's sake, to see how merciful are you, how forgiving are you. You know what? These things happen because the angels report on everything that we do. They report on how active you are in the word of the Lord. Sometimes a chariot pulls up and you see it moving or you see it stationary. They're there for a reason, not just to look sparkly and make you excited, but they're there for a reason. Okay, so this is the book of Hebrews, and I only have a few precepts, but Lord willing, to still be edifying. So this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 2, and it says, "Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares." Now, when you look into a few of these words, forgetful goes into basically not caring anymore. You know, like lacking hospitality. You know, just whatever. And strangers, no, not strangers. Entertain goes into that hospitality. For example, when you entertain a guest, that means you bring them in, you let them into your house, you take care of them. You know, like in the ancient world, you bring them water to wash their feet. You know, you bring them food, you take care of them. You show hospitality to them. You show that agape love, right? So it's saying don't be like neglectful, don't be forgetful to show this to strangers, right? People that now there's also a scripture that says know to whom you do good, right? So don't just go around and just because the scripture said I'm gonna just just love everybody and no, you got to be careful and circumspect, especially in these times. But there are certain times when you may, like I said, you may be walking by and the spirit may hit you where somebody may ask you for $1 or $2 and you may have it in your wallet and you're not really going to do anything with it. It doesn't hurt, right? But the spirit, whatever you do in that moment is still directed by the spirit of the Lord anyway. But as it's saying here, the reason is because for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So there's the possibility that you may have been hospitable to a stranger that you didn't know, not realizing that that was an angel. You know, that's why it says thereby some have entertained, shown that care and that that help, entertained angels unawares, meaning they weren't aware. You didn't know that that was an angel. You just did it, but naturally, if that's you, it wouldn't matter if you knew or not. Okay, but you know what they say? Like if you really want to see somebody's true colors, it's really when nobody is watching, when they're by themselves, when they don't think anybody is watching them. That's when you see what somebody's truly like. So somebody may act one way, but when you see how they actually are, just off camera or in their regular life, you can see, wow, this person is really like this or this person is really like that. And as it says, entertaining angels unawares, I'm going to get a quick account here. All right, Salakia, I'm going to get a quick account here in the book of Tobit. And the book of Tobit is a very good book. But when you read in the book of Tobit, as I'm about to get, the Lord did send the angel down with the once again with the purpose of helping Tobias and Tobit and Sarah. Okay. But the angel that came down deliberately made it so they did not know who he was. They did not know that he was an angel. It's next to impossible to tell. I mean, sometimes you get feelings. You get a thought, or you just feel something in your spirit where you're just like, especially knowing that this scripture in Hebrews exists. Sometimes you just get that thought in your mind, But that's why you got to be, you got to move in the spirit as best as you can. That way, even if you get so-called caught off guard, you're not gonna be caught off guard doing anything wrong, because if naturally you lead a life that's becoming of a man of the Lord, you know, or of a believer, then it doesn't matter at what point somebody pulls up on you or tries to test you, or if they come incognito or not. You're still going to be in the clear, because naturally that's just how you are. It's like doing the work of the Lord, right? You have those that that's why the scriptures talk about blessed is the servant whom his Lord shall, you know, come and find so doing. Okay, find so doing what? Being faithful and doing the work, right? So blessed is that servant. Now, if you are one that is naturally diligent and you're always doing the work, then it doesn't matter if you know the time when the Lord is coming or not, because at whatever period of time he comes, you're going to be doing the work, you know? But if you're somebody that's like, yeah, whatever, then you're waiting to see how close is he. Oh, he's super close. All right, now let me dust my garments off and jump out on the highways and byways or whatever it is, and start putting in some work. But I mean, you're only fooling yourself. So this is the book of Tobit, chapter 3, verse 16. It says, so the prayers of them both were heard before the majesty of the great God, and Raphael was sent to heal them both, that is, to scale away the whiteness of Tobit's eyes, because Tobit was blind at this point, and to give Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, for a wife to Tobias, the son of Tobit. And her problem was that nobody could take her to wife, because there was an evil spirit that was, I believe, dwelling in her room, or, you know, around her. So, not that she was evil, but there was an evil spirit, Asmodeus, that would kill any man that would try to lay with her, you know, in the bedchamber. So any so-called husband, because they wouldn't become her husband until they popped her, even if she was given onto them, until they actually consummated the marriage and you know, made it the actual marriage, which goes to show you that sex is what actually validates the marriage. Because if you so-called marry a woman but you don't lay with her, then you're technically, you still, the marriage hasn't been completed. It's not in full effect. Okay, so anytime they would go to the men would go to lay with her, they would be killed by the evil spirit. I mean, the Lord had it. The Lord is in control of it all anyway, but the Lord had it to where Salakia, she would be paired up with Tobias, which was the son of Tobit. So as we keep reading, it says here, verse 17 again, and Raphael was sent to heal them both. Now, Raphael is one of the 7 archangels, and or Rapha Ya'ala. Okay, so the angel of healing, because Rapha is heal in Hebrew. So it says here, that is to scale away the whiteness of Tobit's eyes, and to give Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, for a wife to Tobias, the son of Tobit, and to bind Asmodeus, the evil spirit, because she belonged to Tobias by right of inheritance. So it's spiritual, right? Because ultimately, whatever woman you come across or whatever man you come across, the Lord prepares them. Okay, there are certain relationships that are actually prepared by the Lord, where the Lord says, in this time, in this lifestyle, I'm gonna pair up this individual with that woman, or I'm gonna bring this, and that's how people come into your life. It's not like sometimes you're not even looking, but just circumstances bring somebody into your life, and then boom, you know, the Lord has them there just continually. And that's because the Lord sets it up in the spirit for whatever reason it may be. Maybe the Lord might say, look, I want to have mercy upon this woman. So I'm going to pair her up with this man who's a man of the Lord, and they're going to be together. And so by her being with him, she changes her ways and her lifestyle. And then she can be clean enough for me to have mercy on her. And Lord willing, she can be delivered, you know, with him. So everything is controlled in the spirit. Relationships that don't work out, that's also controlled in the spirit. And then you may ask, well, why would the Lord bring her into my life just so it's not going to work out? What's the point in all that? You know, and you're looking at, in most cases, you look at it from the carnal perspective of the pain of, you know, the going through the breakup and whatever the case is. But there's also an experience, and with experience comes learning. With every experience comes an opportunity to learn. And the Most High has you go through various different experiences that you learn from, whether consciously or subconsciously. But whatever it is you went through, it's going to be something that plays a role in your future, which is why the Lord had you go through it. Whether it was to help you appreciate the next woman even more, you know, or whatever it is. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe the Lord might want you to be by yourself. So he might put you in a, you might not want to be by yourself. So he might put you in a relationship that just gets you so fed up that you're like, I'm done with this. So everything happens for a reason. But going back to the scripture, it says she belonged to Tobias. Now, she didn't even know that. Neither did he. It says, so that's why the evil spirit was there. Going to show you that the Lord set everything up. So he said, look, she's not going to be touched unless it's by Tobias, because I want her. She's paired to him. So all those previous men that came about, it never worked out. They actually got put to death by that evil spirit. And that evil spirit was ultimately under control by the Lord. So up until the time when Tobias was going to go there, that's when the Lord had, Raphael go to bind that evil spirit to say, your job is done. The man that's to be her husband is here. It's very spiritual. So it says here, the self-same time came Tobit home and entered into his house, and Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, came down from her upper chamber. So this is basically the precept that lets you know that they prayed, and then the Lord sent Raphael down, right? So now going to the next precept, which is in the book of Tobit, the 5th chapter, starting at the 1st verse, Tobit 5:1. Now it says, Tobias then answered and said, Father, because I believe when you read the 4th chapter, Tobit is basically giving his son sound advice, okay, instructions to lay the heart, which is a beautiful thing, but it's sad because in this time you don't really get that. Between the family homes of Israelites, they don't have that actual father figure to give them that sound advice, to instruct them properly in the ways of the Lord, in what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and what you should look out for, and all of those things. So verse 5, it says, Tobias then answered and said, Father, I will do all things which thou hast commanded me. But how can I receive the money, seeing I know him not? And a part of it was that when you read it, you'll get the context. But Tobit, the father of Tobias, had some money that he left with Raguel, and so he was telling Tobias to go, because it was a distance that Tobias would have to travel to get to where Raguel was in order to get the money, right? So as he says, but how can I receive the money, seeing I know him not? So Tobias was saying, well, you're sending me, but I don't know Raguel. So, I mean, if I go, how am I supposed to get the money from him? It says, then he gave him the handwriting and said unto him, seek thee a man which may go with thee whilst I yet live, and I will give him wages, and go and receive the money. So he basically told his son, Tobias, to go and find a guide, somebody that could take him to the land and bring him back, right? One that would guide him, lead him, because you had people that would do that, people that were familiar with the area. So it says, therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, that was an angel. So now, what are the chances that he would find Raphael? Of course, the angel knew where to be, when to be, how to be there. And then the Lord had it to where Tobit didn't find anybody else but Raphael. So it says, so there's no room to say, oh, well, what if he didn't find Raphael? What if he found somebody? No, it was set up that he would find Raphael. That for some reason, when he went there, maybe there might have been multiple people over there, but just the one that the spirit was on him to go and ask was Raphael, which was an angel. Now, we know that the angels have their angelic form, which is where they have their wings, You know, they have their you know, their you have different angels that look differently. Some have multiple faces, some have eyes all about, some look more like humans, okay, but with wings. Now it says here, so when Raphael came down, he didn't come down in his angelic form. He came down and took the form of a man. And it says, verse 5, or verse 4, therefore when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael that was an angel. But he knew but he knew not, and said unto him, canst thou go with me to Rages? So Tobias did not know that Raphael was an angel. And truly, how would he know? Right? The angels don't do a half-ass job when they come down. If their job when they come down is to be in the disguised form, I mean, the most you'll get is a guess in your heart. Maybe this is an angel, but you're not gonna see anything. They're not gonna pop out wings and, hey, I'm an angel. No, they're not gonna do that. Okay, so it makes sense that he didn't know. So it says here, but he knew not, and said unto him, canst thou go with me to Rages? And knowest thou the place well? To whom the angel said, I will go with thee, and I know the way well, for I have lodged with our brother Gabriel. Then Tobias said unto him, tarry for me till I tell my father. So wait here, let me tell my pops real quick. Then he said unto him, go and tarry not. So he went in and said unto his father, behold, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with thee. So the father, Tobit, wanted to inspect, okay, examine the man and see, all right, is this somebody I can trust to take my son and bring him back? It says, verse 9, so he called him, and he came in, and they saluted one another. This whole time, they didn't know that there was an angel. Then Tobit said unto him, brother, shew me of what tribe and family thou art. To whom he said, dost thou seek for a tribe or family, or an hired man to go with thy son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, thy kindred and name. Then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Ananias the great, and of thy brethren. Now, Raphael's name is not Azarias, but remember, he came, basically he was on an incognito mission. So he had to play the role. And this is why you can entertain angels unawares, because this is a prime example that when an angel comes, for whatever reason, if their job is not to reveal themselves as an angel to you, it's next to impossible to tell. And it's likely that you'll be entertaining them unaware, but they're there to actually help you. Sometimes somebody that just, you may be in need of directions or help or something, and it's just like somebody random just comes up and gives you the exact help that you need at that moment. You know, you may be going, oh, you looking for this? And you didn't even ask them. Nah, there's like 2 blocks down and make a left, and right there you should see it. And you're like, oh, nah, what? Hey, thank you, man. You know, yeah, no problem, man. Hey, peace. You know, and they just leave. You're like, how did this? I didn't even ask this person the question, you know? But the point is, as you can see, when he asked them, listen to the reply that Raphael gave him. I mean, that sounds, ain't nobody's gonna suspect that in their minds, oh, I'm talking to an angel right now. So it says, verse 12, then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Ananias the great, and of thy brethren. Then Tobit said, thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me, because I have inquired to know thy tribe and thy family, for thou art my brother of an honest and good stock. For I know Ananias and Jonathan, sons of the great Samias, and we went together to Jerusalem to worship, and offered the firstborn and the tenths of the fruits. And they were not seduced with the error of our brethren. My brother, thou art of a good stock. Now, once again, of course, Raphael knew that if he said that he was from the line of Ananias, that would be even better, because that would bring this positive outcome. to where Tobit would trust him and say, yes, you know, no, that's good stuff. You can go with my son. And that was his job. That's what he was there to do. But yeah, that's all I'm going to read on that. And pretty much that was the point that I wanted to bring out, which is be careful when entertaining strangers, because you never know who it is exactly that you're entertaining. You never know who it is that you're talking to. You never know who it is that you're helping out or that you're not helping out. You never know who it is. And remember, what goes around comes around. You help somebody and they give you a blessing. If they cannot actually bless you in that manner, the Lord will do it. The Lord will recompense you for that. So you always got to be mindful of that. Okay? And you know, speaking of angels, that just reminded me here of the book of Daniel. Let's see if I can pull it up. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And it says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, which Michael is also one of the 7 archangels. Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble. Now, this is dealing with that time of Jacob's trouble, because in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, it tells you that immediately after the tribulation of those days, the Son of Man came. And when the Son of Man is Yahushua, who's he coming with? He's coming with the angels, the heavenly host, Michael and everybody else. Okay? Now, of course, during the actual time of Jacob's trouble, you will have divine intervention. The Lord might send angels to deliver you, or a chariot, or whatever it is. But on a large scale, when all the angels, or a large sum of the angels and the Lord come back, that's going to be right at the ending of Jacob's trouble, when the missiles are shot off. It says here, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Once again, going to show you that the angels are going to come, the Lord is going to come, but it's going to be with a purpose. Okay? And so when you are out, you know, in your regular day-to-day life, try to lead and as honest of a life as you can. You know, try to embody what the scriptures say, you know, in living the life of a believer, you know, of a man of the Lord, or, you know, a woman, or whatever it is, as a sincere believer. Try to actually live your life that way, because you never know who it is you may encounter, and you never know if it's an angel, why they're there, or what it is they are there to test you on. Because they might be there to test your character, test your charity, test your patience, whatever it is, and they're always reporting back, you know. So that's pretty much it. It was just a thought that came to mind that I was meditating on this morning. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.